And that brings us to the end of the fight. Carlson, Harris, Jared Gooden are going to go to a decision. But we won't have to wait on the verdict on this one because it's real simple. Gooden may have won round one on striking, significant strikes. But as they went into round 2 and 3, Carlson Harris went right in for the takedown, got 9 minutes of control out of 10 minutes remaining in the fight. He's going to win the second and third round. I mean, there's just no way Gooden can get it. So Harris is going to win this by unanimous decision, at least 2 rounds to 1. When you look at total strikes, it's 54-53. Gooden was up by like 20 significant strikes after round 1, and Harris just continued to close the gap on the takedowns. 5 takedowns, 12 attempts, 933 of control. So he's going to move to 18-5, and we're 1-0. Welterweight division, UFC Fight Night. Ooh, a nice takedown by Silva here early in round 2. Now he gets top position, and Nam trying to get out of it, holding him down. It's the right thing to do, but this is not where you want to be against Bruno Silva. That's for sure. Bruno Silva's going to try to work up the body here. Oh, Nam gives up the back. That's a bad move. Oh, he locks it in quick. He locks it in quick. This is not good for Tyson Nam. And he's trying to pull off, but he can, and it's over. Wow. And that was quick. Tyson Nam is done. Oh, and a nice backflip by Bruno Silva off the fence. Dang. Woo. Wow. And Tyson Nam is being told what happened, basically. As Bruno Silva runs around the octagon, he's pumped up here in an early fight. And Bruno Silva just came in and looked really good here, getting the takedown. You see him shoot for the takedown. Lands a nice kick to the chin earlier. My goodness. And you don't want a Brazilian on top of you after you just took a devastating kick, because now it's just a matter of time, because you're a little tired out of it for a second. You don't have time to recover, and you're not going to recover. And that's why Bruno Silva is going to move to 13-5. He led 25-13 on significant strikes. Wasn't even credited with the takedown, but gets a submission here. Flyweight division, UFC Fight Night. Well, it looks like we're going to be way off on this one. Ariane Lipski is going to dominate this fight as it comes to an end. We had J.J. Aldrich winning on significant strikes mainly. A few takedowns possibly, but didn't go that way at all. Lipski did the opposite. She dominated on the feet, 88-40 in significant strikes. She's going to get the unanimous decision victory. This is an easy one. Lipski will move to 15-8 with a dominating performance over J.J. Aldrich, who came in with 11 wins. Very active in significant strikes, but just completely got shut down today by the Brazilian Lipski here in the women's flyweight division at UFC Fight Night. Man, I really thought Henry won this fight, but we'll see. Big finish by Gravely. 30-27. Okay, it's going to be split. 29-28 the other way. Come on. Come on. Ah! Victor Henry gets the win. You know, and he should. I mean, 124-88 in significant strikes. I usually lean toward the guy who dominated in significant strikes, but Gravely did have 3 takedowns for 322 of control. Finished the fight strong, but couldn't grind out the victory. So he's going to fall to 23-9. Victor Henry's going to get the win. He's 23-6. Good performance by him. And I thought I heard a 30-27, but it's 29-28 on 2, 28-29 the other way. So, I mean, 9 total rounds, 5-4 for Henry is what it works out to be. So, split decision win for him. Here, bantamweight division. A lot of bantamweight division fights tonight, and we're down to 2-0. But 2-2, excuse me. Bantamweight division, UFC Fight Night. Okay, Dumas reverses it. Now he's going to take the back here of Fremd. Okay, let's go. Oh, now Dumas gets flipped and rolled. Now it's Fremd switching up the submission attempt. Boy, and he's got this. And Dumas isn't fighting back with the hands. You better get those hands in there. Okay, there he goes. Oh, man, this is not good. Fremd on top, and he taps. Dumas taps. Josh Fremd takes down Dumas. which will be his first loss. He's going to fall to 7-1. And Fremd is pumped up. He's going to move to 10-4. And Dumas is down and just upset that he lost. And officially a guillotine at 3 minutes into round 2. But Josh Fremd's going to get the win and move to 10-4 here in the middleweight division. UFC Fight Night. Wow, the ref's taking a point from Davey Grant. Yep, he grabbed a hold of the fence on the way down. Oh, this is bad. Leading this fight, but that's going to be a problem. So he loses the point here in the third. 1 minute left. He's got to do something big now. I mean, if it goes to a decision, you might get a draw. Nice combo landed. Oh, a leg kick now. Sun Sao says hand. Oh, spinning back fist. Nice. And now Sun Sao drives the leg. He's looking for another takedown. He's had 4 or 5 in this fight. And here we go. They're going to go to the ground. It looks like approaching 30 seconds left. Oh, and a Sun Sao lifts up Grant, but Grant's got the triangle in. Look at this. 25 seconds left. When it's hard to see what's going on down there, Sun Sao in all types of trouble. Oh, is that it? That's it? That's it? It's over. Wow. Davey Grant finishes him, and he was probably finished for a few seconds. The ref trying to raise the hand. It's kind of an awkward position. And if Sun Sao is up, he's fine. But, man, what a position and finish there for Davey Grant. And he was fired up after losing the point because now it's like, you know, you had this great fight, you're winning, and you might get a draw. Got to go for the victory, and he did, and he got it. Oh, my goodness. Great finish there by Davey Grant. He's going to move to 15-6. Sun Sao is going to fall to 28-10. And you see the big right landed. Sun Sao gets up, puts the thumb up, and then bam, the spinning. Wow. Wow. What a finish by Davey Grant. He really wanted that one. And another great bantamweight division fight at UFC Fight Night. Final fight of the prelims. Carl Williams dominates Brzezinski, mainly on the ground. 10-13 of control, 8 takedowns. But it was Brzezinski who still landed more significant strikes, 30-28, but it won't matter due to the control time. So Carl Williams is going to get the win. We're 4-3 on the night. Carl Williams is 8-1 overall. Big heavyweight division fight at UFC Fight Night. Now Takali trying to get up, but it's allowed Petrino to get totally behind him now. He's going to try to get out the back door again, and I think Petrino knows it this time. And they're going to stand up. Takali flips. Boom! Nice takedown by Petrino. Ooh. And he looks up at the time. Takali trying to pull the legs out. He gets one out, and they stand. All right, let's go. Let's get a strong finish, fellas. Final minute. Both guys know it. There's got to be... Okay, good. And now they separate. And both guys got to know they got to finish strong here to get the win. Right? Yep. And they trade combinations. And now Takali ducks an uppercut. Or really sidesteps it. Now he lands a combination left and right and takes the back again. So that's what's going to make things interesting here. You got 6 takedowns versus 5 in favor of Petrino. Nearly 6 of control for him. Takali's moving up towards 5 minutes. 35-29 significant strikes. And it's just going to come down to round by round. 2 and 3 are toss-ups to me. And Petrino's going to get the slam with 10 seconds left. And I think that will solidify it. Yeah. Now he lands a left-right combination, and that'll do it. Great fight, though. But I think Petrino is going to get that one. And if he does, we'll be back to 4-4. And I had a feeling this would be a tough night on the predictions. I just felt it. We had a big night at UFC 285 last week, 11-3. And we haven't had a losing record yet. I mean, it doesn't happen often each year, but it's going to happen. It might be tonight. But Petrino looking good in round 1. Round 2, Takali coming back. Not sure if he did enough to get the round. Round 3, it seemed like it was very close, but Petrino did enough at the end. He had 2 slams in the round. He ended up having 7 takedowns to 5, over 6 minutes of control to just under 5 for Turkalj. 38-29 significant strikes, 65-63. So you can tell by the numbers how good this fight was. I mean, you could just see by the numbers that this was an interesting fight. So work their way back. We're about a minute away from the decision. Get in the chat room. Let us know who won this fight. Had just enough action, too. Just enough action to be interesting, even though it was 10 minutes of control. Well, 10:53 of control, near all but 4 minutes and 7 seconds on the ground, but just enough action. And here we go. 30-26, 30-27, 30-26, I think. All right, 30-26, 30-27 on the other 2. Wasn't even close. Vitor Petrino is going to win by unanimous decision. That means we were kind of wrong about round 2 and 3. He did enough to get the win. He's going to remain undefeated. We had that one wrong. Tough fight for Turkalj. And it looks like his camp left and they were upset. But nothing will come of it. So Petrino, the Brazilian, 8-0. Light heavyweight division. UFC Fight Night. Mario Bautista versus Guido Canetti. UFC Fight Night. Bantamweight division. Setting the table, as they say. But here we go. This fight is on. Fight 5 at UFC Fight Night. Yan versus Dvalishvili. A lot of bantamweight fights. And it's a division we want to talk about as both guys trade kicks early on here. Somehow Henry Cejudo coming back and getting a title shot with Sterling. That's the big talk this week. Tonight you got 2 versus 3. Now check this out. If Petr Yan wins, Sean O'Malley beat him, then Sean O'Malley's likely getting the winner of Cejudo versus Sterling. And what are they trying to do? I mean, if Cejudo wins, is he going to defend it, or is he just going to try to go right up to Volkanovski? See, and I think that's what the UFC is looking at. Now, if Sterling wins and Yan wins, meaning Dvalishvili loses, then you're going to get a Sterling versus O'Malley fight, and that would be huge. Those are 2 big names, especially if Sterling can beat Cejudo. That's, even though I say what I say about Cejudo, it's still a big name. There's 1 minute's gone here, Bautista versus Canetti, and this fight just goes right to the ground with Bautista on top. Who we got winning this? We got Bautista, okay? 4-4 on the night. 5 fights to go. So we got to get at least 3 of these 5 to avoid the first losing record of the year on predictions. But I'm still fully confident in Saeed. I'm fully confident in Krylov. I'm somewhat confident in Volkov, worried about the takedowns. We got Merab at the end. That's a coin flip. Especially with Petr, you're losing a lot of fights. He's trying to get his name back. So this fight might end up being big for us. Back to the ground. They stand up momentarily. Bautista gets another takedown. He's on top. Canetti's moving around. And Bautista trying to lock something in here, but he's not going to be able to. As Canetti's just trying to get the leg. Now Canetti gets to the back. Slides out the back door, though. Bautista's on top. He drives a knee, and we're back to our feet. Ooh, and a nice takedown by Canetti. Dang. We've seen a lot of grappling tonight, a lot of takedowns. A takedown here by Bautista. Some big shots throughout the night, but a lot of submissions. No finishes yet in terms of KOs. It's been all decisions and submissions now as Bautista gets the back, but now Canetti's bent over trying to slide him over the top. And he's got the leg lock in, but... Ooh. Trying to get the submission, but he can't. Canetti defended well enough. Got Saeed Nurmagomedov on deck after this. Probably the biggest name on the card. Oh boy, now he locks it in. It looks like, oh yeah, he's locked it in. Canetti's in trouble. Looking at his corner, and he taps, and that's it. He tried to fight the hands. It looked like he was going to be able to, and he can't, and Bautista gets the win, and we needed that one, baby. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's go ahead and lock it in. 5-4 on the night now. Bautista gets the finish. And Canetti tried to fight the hands. It looked like he was going to be able to, but he can't. And Mario Bautista kind of doing what the fighters have done throughout the night. We get a submission, we get a decision, we get a submission, and that's the way things end up. Mario Bautista didn't let down, though. I mean, they put this fight in the main card, and it definitely delivered. But Mario Bautista gets the win in another big bantamweight fight. He's going to move to 12-2. Guido Canetti falls to 10-8. Bantamweight division, UFC Fight Night. All right, Keith Peterson is the ref. Saeed Nurmagomedov, number 14, taking on Jonathan Martinez. This is in the bantamweight division. What is there, 6, 7, 8 bantamweight fights tonight, it seems like, leading up all the way to the main event between Yan and Dvalishvili. This fight is underway, and this is going to be a good one. I mean, Martinez is 17-4, Saeed 17-2. Biggest name on the card for sure. No question about it. Unless he loses. Yeah, these guys are going to feel each other out. There's a lot of kicks, a spinning back fist there by Nurmagomedov. Totally blocked, though, by Martinez. And the matchup is interesting. I mean, you got two quick guys. Martinez finished Cub Swanson in his last fight. You got Saeed with some big wins. And, man, a kick drops Martinez. It was a kick to the body, now a kick to the head. Kick to the body, he kind of lost his footing, but still led to the knockdown. First minute gone. And another leg kick straight ahead. Pushes back Martinez. And it's good for the bantamweight division. I know when we were ranking the divisions, we got to get back to that. Lightweight would always win. Welterweight would be up there. But there was a lot of... Bantamweight would be third, sometimes fourth behind women's strawweight. But I know in the comments there'll be a lot of people weighing in about the bantamweight division. And tonight it's on full display and it looks good. As Saeed lands a left and a right. Oh, Martinez gives up the back. And it looked like Saeed had it. Oh, and he might have it locked right now. Oh, boy. Oh, boy, it's close. I mean, it is close. Saeed is squeezing, but Martinez is going to be able to roll out of it. Wow. Credit him. And Saeed goes right back to it. Oh. Oh. Martinez in a world of trouble here. But he's going to be able to turn just enough. Wow. Wow. Martinez stands up. He's got Nurmagomedov in the clinch. Backed up against the fence. So he's building up a little bit of control time here. 2 submission attempts already for Saeed. Didn't go through. He's up 13-5 in significant strikes. Control time's not really a factor, but 1 takedown to 0 for Saeed. 19-5 total strikes. Now Martinez kind of slows the pace down a little bit here. Oh. And a nice elbow by Martinez. Both guys trade knees. Saeed's trying to work out of it, but he's having a tough time. As he digs the underhook, almost gets taken down. Now he turns Martinez into the fence. His hands are in the fence there. We already know earlier Keith Peterson does not play that. I believe it was Keith Peterson taking a point from somebody. I think it was Davey Grant earlier who ended up coming back and getting a win. Martinez switches back and forth from lefty to righty. And those leg kicks are crazy from Saeed. And a spinning elbow by Saeed gets the crowd in an uproar. And it's what you see in the bantamweight division. I mean, you know, you get a flurry of punches, but the guys are in close quarters all the time. Constant clinch, control time, scrambles, takedowns, giving up the back, submission attempts. I mean, that's kind of how the Knights win in other fights. And again, as we, you know, these two go through the last 30 seconds of round one, how does Henry Cejudo get to come back in this crazy tough division and get a title shot? I mean, I'm thinking the UFC probably believes that he might have a chance against Sterling, and they can set up a fight with Volkanovski for 3 belts, which I hope does not happen. Saeed gets back up, and Martinez misses on a big elbow here. Final seconds. Saeed's leading 18-11 in significant strikes, 36-13. Total strikes, he has 1 takedown. Martinez none, but Martinez did have 2 minutes of control, but he probably still lost a round. So, good start to the fight here. Getting through round 1. Working our way to round 2. Again, Saeed 17-2. Think about that, 17-2. He's number 14 in the division. Jeez. So I can see why there's a lot of diehard fans of the bantamweight division believe this is the best division in the sport. Let me know in the chat room what you think. Maybe I should peek into the chat room. Is anything happening in there? Oh, yeah. Okay. Dang, JK. This fool. I called it, fam. That submission was quick. He says he got Martinez. Okay. I don't know about Martinez in this one. We'll see. Saeed, the biggest name on the card. And yes, JK, certainly Martinez could pull it off. I mean, I like Saeed to win the fight, but the fact is he could certainly pull it off. No doubt about it. But he did get beat in round 1. Again, 18-11, significant strikes, 36-13. And he got a lot of clinch and scrambles, but still fast-paced, high activity in terms of striking. Round 2 underway. They start from the feet, obviously. And Saeed continually working that leg kick. Probably trying to keep Martinez off of him. He's constantly moving, constantly driving forward, the leg kick. Trying to keep his head off the center line. And I made a big mistake here on the scorecard. We're 5-4 in the night. I put a check by Saeed and couldn't figure out the mistake because I'm counting 6 checks and 4 X's. So we're 6-4 in the night. But then I realized I put a check by Saeed a little bit prematurely. So we're just going to need him to finish this thing out. 5-5 sounds terrible. 6-4 sounds okay. And we're talking about predictions if you don't follow the channel, right? On the night, 5-4. About 65% on the year. Big week last week. 11-3 at UFC 285, so you can't expect a big week like that every week. Saeed gets a takedown. He's on top, building up some control time against Martinez, and that's 2 takedowns now to 0. So that's a tough part for Martinez, as he may get up, he may get out of some of these submissions, but it's still, you're in there with Saeed. He's going to be getting a lot of control. And Martinez flipped him. Somehow these guys jump back to their feet. But those takedowns are huge, right? I mean, even if the strikes are close and you get these takedowns, spinning back fist by Saeed. But all things being close, the takedowns and control is important. And Saeed's going to continue that here with the single leg lock. And he pulls Martinez down to his knees. Martinez trying to stand, but Saeed's got his head on the hip and the arms locked around Martinez's left leg. But Martinez is picking up the striking here. Close the gap to 6. So he's up by 1 right now in this round. And landed some elbows to the side of the head as they stand up, and now he drives a knee. Both guys back to their feet. So in this division right now, you got Aljamain Sterling as the champ. He's number 5 on our dude list, meaning favorite fighters right now. Then you got, well, he's fighting Henry Cejudo, who's not even ranked. Then you got Sean O'Malley 1. Tonight you got Yan versus Dvalishvili. That's 2 versus 3. And then, I mean, you slide all the way down to 14, and you got a 17-2 Said Nurmagomedov. And if Martinez can somehow find a way to win this, he'll be ranked. This is one of those fights that Said just has to win if he wants a top 10, roughly top 10 contender. And he's better be ready to call someone out if he does win this. But right now, it's not looking easy. 140 left in round 2. Now 22-20 in significant strikes. So Martinez coming back a little bit. It's a good round for him. Ooh. Looked like a low knee, but it was on the thigh by Martinez. And Martinez might not be ranked, but he's fighting like a ranked guy tonight. Obviously, Said had to win some big fights to get to this point, but Martinez looking a lot like a ranked fighter. It's not easy for Said. And you can argue that Martinez is making a fight of this. And they swing out of it here. 45 seconds left. Leg kick landed by Martinez. Gosh, every time you see that spinning back fist, you just think of what Alexa Grasso did to Valentina Shevchenko last weekend. Jumped right on the back and finished the fight within like a few seconds. Both guys in a standing position again at the end of this round. And it seemed to me that Martinez looked a little better in this round. I don't know how the takedown will go early in the round, but certainly from the first, after the first minute was gone, the rest of the way, Martinez picked it up. May have stole that round. 26-26 in significant strikes. He was down 7 before that round. So he led by 7 significant strikes in that round. Did give up a takedown, but I think it's enough to get the round. So this is things coming down to round 3. So JK in the chat room, you might have something here with Martinez. You might have some. So, yeah, Martinez took round 2, JK. I feel that. I feel that way. So I think it's 1-1 right now. We're going to have to wait and see what happens in round 3. But I think JK's got that right, yeah. That Martinez likely won that round for sure. Got me a little nervous with Said. You know, I knew Martinez would be tough, but I thought Said would be able to walk him down and finish him, which it appeared he almost did in round 1. I mean, not appeared, but he almost did. And he couldn't stick with it. Martinez battling back here. Let me know what y'all think in the chat room. I mean, next week, Edwards versus Usman 3. It's the fiance's birthday. Oh, boy. Big decisions to make next week. How do I miss Edwards versus Usman 3? But I also got the fiance's birthday, so, you know, we'll see what happens. Y'all pray for a brother. Here we go, round 3. Nurmagomedov versus Martinez. Oh, things are picking up here. And Said drops Martinez with a left. See, now he's going to be on top. It's going to get to the clinch again. And he should have, gosh, sometimes you just want to see these guys continue after they get big shots. Not allow the opponent to get back into it. But both fighters go to the ground. Said's on top. But we saw this in round 2 and Martinez came back. So don't think it's over yet. Still 32-32 in significant strikes. But the longer Said can remain in this position, the better. And I think whoever wins this round wins the fight. Okay, Saeed, yeah, keep him right there. Good, keep him right there. Boy, Martinez got the triangle now. And Saeed's sitting straight up. You better be careful. Now looks like he's gonna get out of it. Ooh, he's getting tighter in there though. Martinez trying to pull the hand back in. Oh my goodness. Come on, Saeed, you gotta get, oh, now he's got the arm bar. Oh my gosh. Look at this. And Saeed's holding on. Wow, and Saeed sneaks out of there. Out the side door, man. Now he's going to take the back of Martinez. Yep, and this is what you want to do. Martinez looking up at the clock. And right now, as long as you maintain this position and you're Saeed, you got the back, he's got the triangle locked in. Even if you're not doing anything, you're showing control. Limiting the opportunities for Jonathan Martinez. And if it continues this way, people are going to say, oh, Saeed's not as good as we thought. No, he's fighting a good fighter in Martinez. You know, he's not top 10, but he's certainly a worthy opponent. And now Saeed's going to try to submission attempt again, but he can't lock it in. Martinez doing a good job here, but he's certainly in a tough position. Oh, when he gets under a little bit now, we'll see. Nope. Martinez, good defense. At least from preventing the submission. Now he's going to try to get back to his feet. But Saeed still got the leg lock in. Now he lets it go. And now they're going to stand up. So Saeed spent 3 minutes in control. He peeks up at the clock. And he sees a lot of time. About 2 minutes left in the fight. So you can't let Martinez get off here. Still 32-32 in significant strikes. Saeed's landing a lot of total strikes, so 93-52. He's got 3 takedowns. Both guys got 4.5 minutes of control, so it's really close. Martinez needs to finish really strong here in the last 90 seconds. Come on, Saeed. Now both fighters looking up at the clock as they stand in the clinch. And I think I saw Khabib in the background. Hard to tell. Martinez really working the knee, but it's not enough here. He's controlling in a control position here with Saeed backed up against the fence, but he's not taking Saeed down. He's not getting any big strikes. He's leading 17-1 in significant clinch strikes, but it's not enough to get the round, I don't think. Saeed breathing pretty hard now. Oh, don't give up the back, Saeed. Don't let him get the takedown right now. Final 30 seconds. Martinez lets go and lands a combination. And they're tied up again. Yeah, if you're Saeed, you can't let the takedown happen here. Final 10 seconds. Boy, these guys come out swinging now. 5 seconds left. We get a big flurry at the end, and that'll do it. And both guys hug it out. A really good fight. A really good fight. And Martinez jumping on top of the octagon. He thinks he won. I don't think so. I think it's not convincing for Saeed, but he should get the victory here. Now at the end, though, 44-33 from Martinez in significant strikes, 99-75. I'm a little nervous. I'm a little nervous about this decision. I'm a little nervous. This is going to be a nervous decision right here. And I say nervous because I'm looking at the predictions. You know what I mean? I'm either 5-5 or 6-4. This is a big one. Close fight. 5-5 will be sweating down the stretch. Because then we got to go 2-1. I like Krylov, and Volkov and Merab is kind of a toss-up. So if we can get to 6-4 here with Saeed and we can win the next fight, at least we avoid a losing situation with a chance to really spread things out. Maybe, 9-4, 8-5 sounds good too. Oh, they're going to make us sweat this thing out. Come on, let's get with the decision. Let's go. I feel like the longer it takes, the more likely it's like a split decision or something. Good thing for Saeed is he definitely won round 1. He probably lost round 2. And round 3 should favor Saeed, but Martinez finished strong with the striking. Here comes Keith Peterson, and we're getting in there now. Okay, let's go. Ooh. Ooh. Ooh-wee. Okay, unanimous. 29-28. Oh, gosh, it's a third round. Jonathan Martinez. No. Dang. Dang. Oh, and there's a loud roar. You can see some people are upset. Wow. All 3 gave it to him too, so it is what it is. Jonathan Martinez beats a ranked Saeed Nurmagomedov. He's going to move to 18-4 here. Bantamweight division, UFC Fight Night. So Krylov or Spann underway. Both guys are coming out swinging. And, I like Krylov to win the fight, but if he was ill and the fight had to be postponed, so how strong is he 2 or 3 weeks later? We're finding out right now in a catchweight fight. Normally light heavyweight, but so they don't have to drain themselves a second time. It's a catchweight at 215. Krylov ties up Spann. No KOs yet, but we got a light heavyweight fight here. We got a heavyweight fight up next. We got Yan versus Dvalishvili, which is probably going to be a battle in the main event. Jamal Hill, your current champion. Probably going to be waiting most of the year for Yuri to come back. And we'll get to see Jamal Hill versus Yuri. And Ryan Spann is underneath already. Don't have the right angle here to see what it looks like, but Ryan Spann's got the arm locked underneath the armpit, and he lets go. This is 6 versus 8 matchup among light heavyweights, so it's a big one. Boy, and Spann is trying to lock it in, but he can't get underneath. Krylov constantly fighting, trying to work his way out of this now. And Ryan Spann's got the legs tied up, but Krylov gets out. And when you're in that position and you do get out of it, now you find yourself on top. Ryan Spann trying to sneak out the back. He can't. Now it's Krylov with the squeeze. Looks like a wrestling match, like WWE style. Just 4-3 in significant strikes. It seems like a lot more. 14-3 in favor of Krylov in total strikes. Both guys with 1 takedown already. Halfway through round 1. Krylov's got the back, gets a takedown here. It's 2 for him. And he's on top in side control. Ryan Spann rotates to his stomach. Now he gets on top. Oh boy, and Ryan Spann got caught here. Nope, and Krylov's going to get forced out. Out the back door now for Ryan Spann. And man, a lot of scrambling here tonight. Even in the light heavyweights are now fighting like bantamweights. And again, this is fight 3 tonight. This was a main event just 2 weeks ago. Now Krylov finds himself on the back of Spann once again. Spann's controlling the wrists. Crowd chant USA here in Vegas. Now Spann winds up on top. Crowd cheers. Oh! Oh, he taps and it's over. Krylov with the submission out of nowhere on the leg triangle. And that happened fast, and Spann just couldn't get out of it. So Ryan Spann falls, and we'll take it. We needed that. 6-5. Just need one more win on the night to avoid a losing night on predictions. Again, a great night last week, 11-3. So even if it goes to 7-6 tonight, it is what it is. But right now, Krylov gets the win. And see, we got robbed on a main event earlier in the year because Krylov would have won. But instead, he couldn't fight. No longer the main event. But he still gets the win here. So he jumps right to the triangle. Look at that. I mean, yeah, Spann's coming in with a big right hand and just gets stuck in the triangle fast. Wow. Wow. And he taps within like 2 seconds, and that's slow motion. That's like a half a second or second there on the submission. But Krylov gets the win, man. Big light heavyweight division fight. He's going to move to 30-9 over Ryan Spann, who falls to 21-8 here at UFC Fight Night. So heavyweight division, UFC Fight Night, Alexander Volkov versus Alexander Romanov. And, man, a heavyweight showdown. Gotta love it. And hopefully Volkov doesn't make me pay for this. Here we go. They touch gloves. He's got to be able to defend the takedowns here. As you know, Romanov's, here he goes already going in. And this is what we're looking at throughout the night, right? Is the takedowns all night. Light heavyweights fighting like bantamweights. Heavyweights now fighting like bantamweights. And the first 20 seconds gone. And this is what I was worried about, is where Volkov's really tall. You know, Romanov's going to be able to get in there and try to shoot for takedowns. And that would take away the height advantage and the reach for Volkov. Number 8 versus number 14 here. And Romanov's got the leg, and he's going to just try to hold on. Okay, Volkov defends it. Good. Already the first test for Volkov. And now he's going to stiff jab here. Nice. Let's go, Volkov. Ooh. Yeah, Romanov ducked his head and got hit on top of the head. That's his fault. Ref's going to let it go. Be ready for the takedown. Here it comes again, Volkov. Okay, good. Good. Stand up now. Got to stand up. All right, now Volkov takes the back. And worked his way to the back, so that's good. But really not where he wants to be. I mean, he's winning in the stand-up. And as you know, Romanov's strong on the ground. He gets a lot of takedowns. Takes his opponents out of their fights. Volkov's a veteran now. He's pounding away from the back to the side of the head. And Romanov's just taking it. Mark Smith looking in there close, but clearly to the side, not to the back. Ooh. Some nice behind the head shots. And now Romanov is covering up, and that's it. Mark Smith is going to end it quick here. Let's go, baby. Alexander Volkov gets the first KO of the night. This will be TKO style, though, but still. We've been waiting all night for one of these, and Alexander Volkov gets the job done. Makes a prediction come true, and we're 7-5 on the night. And that's a good thing. So Alexander Volkov gets the win. Impressive performance in the heavyweight division with the big finish over Alexander Romanov. And it was the opposite of what you expected. I mean, Romanov was shooting for takedowns. Volkov stopped it like we hoped he would. He did. And oddly enough, he gets stops a takedown and gets the back and then finishes this thing with some big punches. Force Mark Smith to jump in. That's the way it goes down. Alexander Volkov wins. Big heavyweight division fight. He'll maintain his number 8 spot here at UFC Fight Night. All right, so let's set it up. UFC Fight Night, main event, Petr Yan number 2, Merab Dvalishvili number 3, bantamweight division, and it's a big one. And if Petr Yan can win this, it kind of stops everything underneath and solidifies the top 3 or 4 guys in the division. Merab shoots right in for the takedown. He's going right to the back of Petr. And a nice scramble here. Petr's covering up, and he gets out of it. And boy, a lot of energy from Merab Dvalishvili early on. These bantamweight fights are crazy. It's a lot of scrambling, high activity. You don't get a lot of KOs, though. But you get a lot of scrambling, a lot of activity along the way. And what's going through Petr Yan's mind right now is you got to have great takedown defense. You got to be able to grapple when you get in there with a guy like Merab. And Merab looking very quick here early in the fight, which is pushing Petr Yan back. A little jumpy is Petr Yan right now. And shall we just say Yan? What is say Yan? Yan and Merab. Boom. Nice leg kick by Merab. He comes in with a left and a right combination. I don't know, he's just catching on the tap. He's landing some shots early here. And we got a time call here. Now he's warning Yan. Herb Dean's warning Yan about keeping the fingers open. And it's amazing when you watch these. I could see why people would weigh in all the time and say bantamweight's the best, because it's just high activity. I mean, there's no feeling out process. If anything, maybe you get some leg kicks, but it's shooting in for takedowns. It's takedown defense. It's scrambling. Both guys are moving really quickly, and this will be this way for a long time throughout this fight. Meaning if it goes into the deeper rounds, it'll still be the same way. Now, Petr Yan's a guy that has lost rounds 4 and 5 in his last two fights, if I'm not mistaken. In other words, he slows down. And you can't do that against Merab, because Merab will not slow down. That's why he's on an 8-fight win streak. But when you're getting a look at behind Yan, is what he sees from Merab, and it's just constant movement. The head's off the center line. Now Merab's going in for the takedown. He's going to almost get it, but they're going to go up against the fence instead. And Petr Yan's going to work out of it. He's just under constant duress here in the first round, as he just can't find Merab. Merab's constantly moving, man. Oh, big right by Merab. And depending on how this fight goes, we'll see, but Sterling was in there 8 rounds with Yan. Couldn't get the finish. Won the title on when he was downed and he got hit. Then came back and beat him in 5-round decision. So if Merab can come in here and get a finish on Petr Yan after O'Malley couldn't do it, Aljamain Sterling couldn't do it, that would be saying a lot. In other words, a dominating performance will be crazy. Both guys firing off in the separation. 110 left. Another time. Herb Dean warning Yan hard on the open fingers. And he's looking at the numbers 21-13 in significant strikes for Merab. Nice leg kick there. Now Yan goes in for the takedown, but it's Merab who gets on top and he's pounding away. And Yan's going to try to tie him up now, but Yan's under constant duress. That's the best word I could find for this. Just constant pressure from Merab. Now Yan stands up. Merab lands a knee to the head. Now to the body. Now Yan strikes back as they're basically in the clinch. But you got Merab in a little bit better of a situation. Yan keeping his hand down to prevent the knee strikes. Under 10 seconds now in the round. And Merab's going to finish in a good position here. Ooh. And a big round for Merab there, round 1. He got that one. 22-13 in significant strikes. 26-21 though overall. 1 takedown, a minute 11 of control. 1 takedown on 8 attempts. That ought to tell you what the mission for Merab is. You go for 8 takedowns, you're going to constantly keep Petr Yan on the defensive. And that's what he's doing here early in this fight. What's up, dudes?
Looks cool here.
Yep. Almost done. Final fight. You guys have fun?
Yeah.
Crazy?
Yeah, Jacob was crazy. It's beyond.
Nice.
Well,
Yeah.
what's up, YouTube?
It's alright. It's almost done. Peace, everybody.
Hi. What's up, YouTube?
Alright, so break around 1, round 2, getting ready to start. Merab looking strong. Here in the main event.
Donations.
Donations, yes. Please, donations. That's what I'm talking about. And they're in the theater for this one, as you see the crowd. I mean, it's a nice indoor facility, not like a regular arena, but you see this stadium seating, you see the box seats. I mean, it's great. Now, Yan looking more aggressive here in round 2 as Merab goes right in for the takedown. Now he's going to get the leg. Petr stands up and lands a big left. But, oh, a big right by Merab. Man, another big elbow by Merab. And if he keeps this up, it's going to be tough for Petr Yan, who's constantly under pressure. And Merab, well, you see that multiple takedowns in 10 of his 11 UFC fights. And that's probably because the one that he didn't need multiple, he probably won it on the first one. I mean, Merab is crazy. People saying in the Twitter base here that Petr won round 1. I don't see it. And already you're seeing Petr Yan breathe harder. I mean, he's got to continually defend the takedowns. Merab's outpacing him. What's the total? 121-47 thrown. And could he keep this up? Yeah, Yan's putting the hands down already. Petr Yan dropped the hands, looking tired. And man, Merab is just constant pressure here. Now he lands a right. The activity is just remarkable by Merab. I mean, it's just nonstop. How many takedown attempts? 12 takedown attempts, 133 strikes thrown. Now Yan catches or lands a left, but it just doesn't matter. Now Merab shoots in for the takedown, and he's going to get the head on the hip. He's going to try to slide to the full mount as he works his way up. He's got the legs tied up right now. Although Yan gets one loose, Merab's going to take the back. They stand up, and Merab swings his way out. Petr Yan dropped the hands again. So you're seeing Petr Yan drop the hands. Starting to get tired here. It's only halfway through round 2. And it's just the activity is reminiscent of, was it Max Holloway versus Corey Sandhagen, I think it was, when he landed like 400 strikes. Merab's not going to land 400, but he's certainly going to throw that many. Boom. Now Yan catches the leg, lands a leg kick, and drops Merab. Look at this. Now Petr Yan on top. Okay. Petr Yan won't get, he should get credit for that takedown, but they're not giving it to him. Petr Yan tries to take the back, Merab standing up. Now all he's got to do is get the hands free. When you look at activity, Merab just dominating this fight in activity, just continually with the takedown attempts, over 150 punches thrown, not necessarily landed, right? But if you're Yan, you're just constantly under pressure. As he lands a nice knee to the body coming out. And they separate. 1 minute left in round 2. Oh, some big shots there by Yan. And there's no way they can continue at this pace for 5 rounds. I mean, someone's got to go down. It's going to happen. Now Merab drives in and takes Yan down once again. 4 for 15 on takedowns. He's going to get the back. And you're just going to see Petr Yan get more and more tired now. Even if this thing does go to the 3rd round, you're going to see him get more and more tired as this fight goes on because of the pressure and activity via Merab Dvalishvili. Both guys in the clinch. Petr Yan with his back up against the fence. And, you know, so let's just say it stays this way. Let's just say Merab he looks good in the corner. Yan's sitting down. He's getting 10-2. Merab's up, smiling, jumping around. So if it continues this way, I think we got to see Merab versus Sean O'Malley, which I think is not good for Sean O'Malley. A guy that should be fighting for the title. Henry Cejudo comes back. He gets robbed. And now O'Malley's going to be forced to fight the number 2 contender, Merab, if he wins his fight. In Petr's corner telling him he's down 2-0. I think that's the right move. 4 takedowns from Merab, 49-29 in significant strikes. And Merab's just ready to charge ahead. Comes out kicking. And you got split fans in the crowd, so you hear chants both ways. Yan and Merab. Not a huge crowd, but different from the Apex. You got more people. Probably a couple hundred at least. I can't see how big it is up top, but you got some box seats. You got a few rows of stadium seating. Whew. Oh, and both guys coming in swinging. Yan ducks low. Now Merab's going to shoot him for a takedown. He can't get it, but he's not going to stop shooting. 4 for 16. Yan's stopping him 75% of the time, but every time you stop one, you got to work. Here comes Merab. Big shot. He's going to shoot him for the takedown again. Oh, and a nice elbow by Yan. And Yan's got to find something. He can't afford to lose to the top 3 contenders and slide lower. You know, a guy that was at the top was the champ, kind of seemingly unstoppable. To an unfortunate blow against Sterling, cost him to lose a title. Then he lost a rematch. Then he lost to Sean O'Malley. And now you got to fight down. I mean, you got to fight down. You lose to a lower contender like O'Malley. You got to fight down. But luckily it's number 3 contender and not number 5 or 6. And Merab might be the toughest fight. I mean, really, he might be the tougher fight when you look at O'Malley and Sterling. I mean, super aggressive, fast pace, consistently charging in for takedowns. Throwing like a strike or a punch of some sort every 3 seconds, seems like. Let's go, Merab. Let's get the finish. Now Petr's got the head on the hip. And Merab's trying to lift, but he can't. Digging the underhooks. Now Yan lets go. And we're back to the center. Halfway through this fight if it goes a distance. Now Merab shoots in for the takedown again. And he lets go of the leg. And lands a right on the way out. Shoots in for another one. I mean, it's just relentless. Relentless from Merab. And I don't want to believe this fight's going 5 rounds, but it is bantamweight division. I mean, these guys do this like in their sleep. And although Yan slows down in the 4th and 5th, you got to give him a little bit of an advantage, having been there multiple times. Merab shoots in again, and he's going to get the takedown. 5 takedowns on 26 attempts. Unbelievable. And they separate. 90 seconds left in round 3. Quite frankly, I'm shocked that Yan isn't more tired right now. Be honest. I mean, you think Yan will be exhausted. But he's still bouncing. And another takedown attempt. Merab takes out the leg, but Yan catches himself. Now he's got one hand down, trying to prevent the knee strikes. That's smart. And Yan trying to sneak out the back. Ooh, nice submission attempt by Merab. He loses it, though. 30 seconds left, round 3. Merab shoots it again. It's just crazy. And he gets a takedown, but Petr gets the better of it, though. Sliding out the back, lands a leg kick. He's out. Okay, now Merab jumping around a little bit. Is he getting tired as he drops the hands? And that'll do it for round 3. And you just see the difference here. Dvalishvili, 166. Oh, that's headshots. Wow. 229 total strikes thrown. He's landed about 30%. Yan, 106. So Merab's doubling him up easy in terms of output. Now it's 73-51 landed. 65-40, significant. 40-12, headshots, control time, 3:43 to 1 minute for Yan. 5 takedowns to 1. And we'll see what happens now. As Merab looks seemingly is up 3 rounds to none. And both corners working on their fighters. And Merab's kind of in uncharted territory now going into the 4th. So even though he's winning this fight, Petr has been here before. Man, Merab's got some good coaches in the corner. Both guys do. I mean. All right, heading into what they call the championship rounds, even though there's no belt at stake. And this is good for both guys, but it's really good for Merab. If he could go on to get the victory, he needs some experience going deeper in fights. And at worst, that's what he's getting here. Merab coming right in with a left and a right. That's what we want to look for here in round 4 is either guy slow down. Right now, it doesn't appear to be so. I mean, both guys still moving around. Petr Yan lands a left. And at least in the opening here, around 4 to first minute right now, neither guy appears to be slowing down. At the end of round 3, it appeared they were both slowing a little bit. But after a little break, they're back at it, man. And Merab's just, he's not throwing bombs, but he's throwing a lot. Ooh, and a big right. Almost drops Yan. Now Merab drives in once again. And he's got Yan in the clinch. A lot of this all night long in these bantamweight fights, man. You got some striking, you got some takedowns, you got some scrambles, you got control time, you got submission attempts and submissions. I mean, just all night in this crazy division. And you got to credit Yan. I think Yan's come a long way. And I hate, it's terrible to say that about a guy that may lose his 3rd straight fight, but he does not look as tired as I thought he'd be in the 4th round. Especially from what Merab has been doing in this fight. And at one point, Petr Yan looked dominant. I mean, he was just beating everybody. You couldn't stand and strike with him. Now all of a sudden you got a run of fighters like Sean O'Malley, Aljamain Sterling. And here Merab Dvalishvili, they can. Ooh, a near headbutt there. Dvalishvili, 35 takedown attempts. He's landed 6. Incredible. Well, now Merab's opening up a little bit. Couple lefts, followed by a right that slides over the head of Petr Yan. And Merab still got that power, boy. So does Yan. Backs him up with a left. And at this point, Jan's going to need a finish, I believe. It's getting late into the fourth. It's at least 3-1, if not 4-0. Merab relentless with the pressure. Jan's constantly defending the takedown or getting stuck in the clinch and having to work out of it. Or if they do separate, Merab is much more active than he is. So it's just, there's no way he's even close to winning this fight. Merab is dominating. And Petr's going to have to come up with something here late in the fourth or in the fifth round. And every time Petr's in trouble, giving up his back or something like that with Merab on top, he puts his hand on the ground to prevent those knees, right? You're a downed opponent at that point. And that'll do it for round 4. So we're going to get a 5th round here. And it's going to be a heck of a 5th round. Because Petr Yan, much like going into this fight, his back is against the wall. Not only in this fight as in his career, but also in this fight. In all aspects. If you're Petr Yan, your corner's got to tell you just got to let it loose here. Go for it, because you're losing this fight. You got to let him know where he's at in the fight. And it's very clear that he's losing. And now he's having trouble seeing out of the right eye. For sure. It's a thing. Whew. Gosh. Round 5 underway. This is it, ladies and gentlemen. This is it. Let's finish strong, fellas. Now it's Petr with the head on the hip driving in. But that puts him in a bad position here. And Merab swings out of it. Petr Yan having a tough time with the right eye. That's his lead eye. He stands left-handed. You know, Merab is in there with a very experienced fighter. A guy who is once the champion. A guy who doesn't get finished. You got to keep all this in mind if you're hoping for a big finish from Merab. I mean, Petr Yan may slow down in the 4th and 5th in other fights. Doesn't seem like he is here. He's come a long way endurance-wise. But it's not an easy guidance to go in there and finish if you're looking for the big finish, which I was too. But when you think back, I mean, he worked his way to the belt. He's lost 2 since. And he didn't get finished in those 2 fights. So, big knees to the thigh. Merab's got Yan tied up and he's going to take him down again. And this has got to be frustrating for Petr Yan. As he's just constantly defending. He's got to feel like, you know, he just cannot get Merab off of him. 110 to 60 in significant strikes. And Merab now just has to grind out these last 3 minutes. He's going to get an easy win. Finally, we get some separation here. 3 minutes left in the fight. Expect a flurry. I mean, if you're Yan, you got to let everything go. And it's tough, too, because when you do, you're liable to give up a takedown. Big right by Merab. Another big right. And Merab could back off. He could take an easy 5th round, but he's not. He continues what got him here in the first 4 rounds. It is relentless pressure. Constantly shooting in for takedowns. 44 attempts. I mean, how do you even deal with that when a guy's trying to, you know, he's averaging 9 takedown attempts per round. That's 1 every 2 minutes. And when he does get a hold of you, you spend 30 seconds getting up. Constantly trying to get your opponent off of you, only to stand again, miss a jab or a left, and your opponent shooting in for another takedown. I mean, it just drain you. And with all that, I must say, Petr Yan looked like he was getting tired in round 2. Doesn't look tired at all now. Gosh, Merab just consistent, man. Left leg kick, right leg kick, left jab, right strike, left jab, takedown attempt, shoves off. And Petr's got to be thinking, my goodness. And as this fight gets down to the wire, you got to, Petr Yan's got to open up and go for it. But it's just very difficult to do because your opponent's just outpacing you. First one to land every time. Shooting for another takedown. Yan goes down. Now Yan looks up at the clock, under 1:30 left. Now Merab's taking the back here, final 75 seconds as the clock ticks down on this fight. Yan peeks at the clock again because he knows it's getting low in time and he's losing. Merab lands another takedown, lets Yan go. This is your last shot if you're Yan. 50 seconds left in the fight. How bad do you want it? We saw a lot of wild 5-round finishes last year. This is what's going to take for Petr Yan to come back. And another takedown attempt for Dvalishvili. 49 takedown attempts. Jeez. And Merab smiles at him, shoots in for another takedown. Goodness gracious. Now Merab takes the back here, final 10 seconds. It just leaves nothing for Petr Yan. And now Merab lets go and swings. I mean, this guy's awesome. Boy, and he's fired up, sticking his tongue out, hands are up, and he knows he won this one. What a performance for Merab Dvalishvili. He did everything but get the finish. He did everything but get the finish. Yes. Let's go. And I don't even think bad judges could mess this up. I don't think it's possible that bad judges could mess this up. Here we go. Both guys together. Unanimous decision. Merab Dvalishvili. And that'll solidify it. 8-5 on the night. We came on strong after 4-4. Getting into the main card. And then going 4-1. So both guys shake hands. Petr Yan looks dejected. You know, he don't really want to like shake hands and get into all this, but it's a respect thing. He knows he lost. He's down. But Merab Dvalishvili is going to move to number 2 contender. And what that means is now it's going to be him and Sean O'Malley. It's got to be. As they wait for Cejudo and Sterling to fight. And that'll do it here in the main event. Merab Dvalishvili gets to win. We're 8-5 on the night. UFC Fight Night, Bantamweight Showdown.